Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make your own mini tote bag. This tote was inspired by the viral Trader Joe's mini tote bag. I have to admit I was a little obsessed with these mini totes. They're just so cute and functional. Once I finally got my hands on one, I measured it, took lots of notes, and reverse engineered it to figure out exactly how it was constructed. The steps in this tutorial mostly follow the original bag with just a few changes. I made the front pocket double-sided instead of a single piece of fabric, and I used cotton webbing for the handles instead of canvas. I'll also be sharing this tutorial on my blog and in my coffee store, so be sure to check out the links in the description box. You'll also find a link to my Amazon storefront with some of the supplies I used for this project. For this project, here's what you'll need. You'll need about a half a yard of your main fabric. This can be cotton, twill, canvas, or even denim. You'll be cutting 2 pieces for your main body and 2 pocket pieces. You'll also need about a half a yard of canvas fabric, and that'll be for the bottom panel. Cotton webbing for the straps. I bought mine on Amazon and I'll link it in the description box below. You can also find it in my Amazon storefront. Standard thread for your main fabric and heavy duty thread if you're sewing through canvas or denim. You can also use top stitching thread for your straps. A hem guide, sewing clips or sewing pins, an iron and an ironing board. Additionally, you'll need fabric shears or a rotary cutter, an acrylic ruler and a self-healing cutting mat, heavy-duty or denim sewing needles to sew through the thick canvas material, a sewing machine, and finally a serger. However, if you don't have one, you can use 1/2-inch double fold bias tape to finish and hide your raw seams. Now that we have all of our supplies, we're going to go ahead and cut out our pattern pieces. For the main body, we're going to cut 2 pieces of fabric 9.5 inches tall by 14 3/4 inches wide. For the pocket pieces, we're going to cut them out of our main fabric, and they're going to be 6 3/4 inches tall and 6 inches wide. For the bottom panel, we're going to cut our canvas and cut 1 piece 12 inches tall by 14 3/4 inches wide. For the straps, you'll need 2 pieces of webbing that are each 34 inches long. Once all our pieces are cut out, we can begin by assembling the pocket. I'm making mine double-sided for extra sturdiness. So take your 2 pocket pieces, place them right sides together, and sew around with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Leave the bottom edge open for now. We're going to use that opening to turn the pocket right side out, and we'll close it up later. After you've sewn around the 2 sides and the top, go ahead and clip your corners and turn the pocket right side out. Then, using your iron, press it flat and top stitch along the top edge 1/8 of an inch away. This will give it a nice professional finish. The original Trader Joe's tote only uses 1 layer for the pocket, and the top edge is folded over twice, so if you want a simpler pocket, you can make it that way instead. For our next step, step 2, we're going to attach the pocket. But first, we're going to find the center of the pocket piece, and we're also going to find the center of one of the main pieces. Then we're going to add a clip or put a pin in the center to mark it. Then we're going to line up the center of the pocket and the center of the main piece and place the unfinished pocket bottom with the bottom of the main piece. Clip or pin everything in place. Then sew down the sides only, making sure to sew past the top of the pocket and back stitching to add strength. Again, we're going to leave the bottom edge of the pocket open. It'll get caught in the seams when we attach the body to the bottom panel. Step number 3, we're going to finish the top edge of the main pieces of our bag. For the top edge of the main pieces, fold it down 1/2 inch and then press. Then we're gonna fold it down another 1/2 inch and press again. Using your sewing pins or your clips, we're gonna go ahead and clip that folded edge down and take it to our machine and sew 1/8 of an inch away from the bottom edge. For step number 4, we're gonna go ahead and add our straps. Taking your main bag pieces and measuring 3 3/4 inches away from each of the sides, we're gonna go ahead and pin our 1.5 inch wide webbing straps, starting from the top edge where the stitch line is and pinning it all the way down. The raw edge of your strap should match up to the raw edge of the main piece. Additionally, the edge of your strap is going to overlap your pocket piece by 1/4 inch. If your webbing does not overlap the pocket piece, then you're going to want to move it over a little bit so that it does overlap 1/4 inch. As you're pinning your strap piece, you also want to make sure that the straps are not tangled or twisted in any way. Before we start sewing on our straps, we want to adjust our stitch length so it's a little bit longer. I went ahead and set my stitch length to a 3. This stitch length gives a cleaner look and prevents the webbing from puckering or distorting as you sew. To attach the straps, we're going to sew them in a rectangular shape. We're going to start at the bottom on the outer side of one of the straps and sew 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. We're going to stitch all the way up until we get to the line where our hem is at the top edge. When we reach that point, we're going to pivot, sew across where the hemline is, and then sew down the other side of the strap again 1/8 of an inch away. You're going to repeat this process for each strap. And while you're sewing, make sure your straps are laying flat and not getting twisted or distorted. Now that our main pieces are assembled, it's time for step 5 to assemble the body and the bottom of the bag. We're going to take our main body pieces and pin them to the shorter edges of the canvas bottom panel, right sides together, then sew them together using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. This will create one big piece of fabric that includes 2 main pieces and the bottom. At this point, you can finish your seams with your serger, or if you don't have one, you can enclose the raw edges with either a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch double fold bias tape. This next part is optional, however the original Trader Joe's bag does have the seam sewn down. So we're going to push it down towards the canvas and sew about 1/8 of an inch away from the seam on the canvas part itself. Repeat this step on both sides and make sure you're using your heavy-duty sewing needle. And if you have a walking foot, this is a great time to use it. We're almost done with this project. For step number 6, we're going to sew the sides of the bag. With the bottom and sides attached, we're going to match up the side seams where the bottom begins and align the finished top edges of the bag. Then we're going to pin the sides in place and sew both sides with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And don't forget to backstitch when you start and stop sewing. To finish the raw edges, if you have a serger, serge the edges and tuck the tails into the side seam for a clean finish. I used a hand sewing needle to thread the ends through the seam. If you don't have a serger, again, you can use either a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch double fold bias tape to cover the raw edges. For the last step, step number 7, we're going to go ahead and shape the bag. In order to square up the bag, we need to turn our bag inside out. Fold the bottom panel up to form a triangle at the corner. Measure 2.5 inches from the top of the triangle down and make a mark. You want to go ahead and make a straight line at that 2.5 inch mark and sew. Repeat this step on the other corner. And just like that, you've created boxed corners that give the bag its shape and structure. And that's it. You've made your own Trader Joe's style mini tote bag. I love how this tote bag turned out. If you try this project, let me know in the comments. And if you post your project, please be sure to tag me at DIY with Ashley so I can see your creation. Thank you so much for sewing with me today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more fun DIY projects.